Hi everybody, this is Dimo. Welcome to the new video. Thank you very much for following us, for subscribing us, for watching our video. This is very, very important for us, and it's a great honor for me. So this session and this video, I am going to talk about laws of UX based on the heuristics. I had a video, you can see that, I've talked about the 10 heuristics. In this session, I'm going to talk about laws of UX, some of them, which are related to the heuristics. If you don't know what is heuristics, you can go and see that video. The links are here and in the descriptions also. So the first rule or the first law is Aesthetic-Usability Effect. That is very, very important for UI designers, for UX designers, for the people who wants to design the product. What this law says, it says that people tend to believe things that look better and more user-friendly, even if they aren't actually more effective or efficient. It means that when you have a product and it has a great function, but it is not user-friendly, it is not beautiful, it doesn't have a good UI, the people think that it has a problem, it's a trouble. They don't believe it and they don't like to use this product. Two people who works on these things, who made these things, who found this is Masaki Kurosu and Karui Kashimura from the university. I think they are Japanese. So that is very important, but the lack of aesthetic appeal may struggle to gain acceptance, leading to debates over their usability, So that is very important. So I've talked about that. It works on the brain, Our brain follows the beauty. The brain and the human wants to have a beauty, for human, for book, for everything, especially for the product. So try to do so and make your designs more and more user-friendly to widely accepted due to attractive designs, okay? So, but how can we apply the usability effect in our brains, in our designs? One of the most important thing is color scheme and theme. That is very important. So it's better to go and study about the color psychology. You know that when your product is about for financial things, you should choose a suitable color. For example, one of the most used color is blue, If it's for children, you should choose another color. If it's for food, you should choose another color. That is very important. The emotions, it gives a good emotion to the user. You should pay attention to the color, images, visual content for the product. That is very important. Contrast is very important. The next thing is white space. So let your design, give your design white space. Let your design breathe, Some people, put the elements, put the components together, so close together, so tight together, and the user cannot recognize them, cannot identify them. So you should pay attention to these things. Give white space from the top, from the down, from the left, from the bottom, between the elements. That is very, very important. It gives the visual hierarchy. It reduces the clutter, increase the user engagement, improve legibility. This is so important. Consistency. It is very important. In the video that we have talked about the 10 heuristics, we have talked about the consistency, and I've told you that we have two types of consistency. Go and watch it, it's important. So consistency helps establish brand recognition, improve user experience. Brand recognition means that when you see one of the products of Office, for example, Word, PowerPoint, you understand that is for Microsoft Office. Or the product of Adobe, for example, when you see the menu, you will understand that's one of the product of Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, and so on. Number two is improve user experience. It means that it's easy for users to understand and navigate website or application and creates sense of readability and professionalism, Streamline the design process, reduce the time and resources needed to create new designs. This is very important. So consistency is very, very important thing. The next law is Fitt's law. Who has developed it? Who has worked on it? Is a psychologist which named Paul Fitts. So that is very famous among us, among UX designers and UI designers. What this law says, it says as the time to acquire a target is a function of a distance to and size of the target. It means that when you want to design something, it's better to make it big enough. For example, when there is a text box, yeah, text field, or another word, and when you fill it, it's better to put the CTA button, call to action button, near that things. And do not annoy the user to put the mouse in other, I don't know, part of the website, part of the application, or in a mobile phone, use the thumbs, for example, bring the thumbs or put the thumbs from bottom to the top. That is not a good experience, yeah? It annoys the users and it wastes the times, yeah? So let's go on, read it and talk about it more. So touch targets should be large enough. I mean, for example, 24 pixels, 32 pixels, that's good for thumbs. Touch targets should have ample spacing between them. Spacing is very important. When they are close together, when a person wants to click on something, maybe it has a trouble and click on the other options. You have seen, and we have seen in many products, this like so. The bigger the distance to the target, the longer it will take for the pointer to move to it. I've talked about that. Bring them together, near together. The larger the target, the shorter the movement time to that. That's related to the touch target should be large enough, yeah? A button to complete an action, CTA, I mean, that's close to the active elements. Important elements that are made larger so that they are easier to select. That is important. You should make it big enough to pay attention, to attract the attention, and the user clicks it. For example, buy CTA, yeah, the user should put it on, click on it, and it goes to the buying funnel. The next is the shortest path to this desired CTA. Menus are in the top corners of the screen on desktops and the bottom of the screen on mobile. That's about the consistency and this user mental model. For example, you can, in these pictures, yeah, some contextual menus show that associated options in the bottom sheet that appears far away, yeah, from the menu label. When you see that menu label and the bottom is far away, this design is suboptimal since it forces the users to waste movement time, yeah. Put out, I don't know, with the thumb, you should go top and click it. Ideally, the options should appear close to the label. Okay. The next law, that is very interesting. I really love this law. That talks about the goal gradient effect. So, who has worked on it? Originally proposed by the behaviorist Clark Hall, this man with lovely glasses. So, as people get closer to reward, they speed up their behavior to get to their goal faster. In other words, people are motivated by how much is left to reach their target, not how far they've come. In another word, the closer users to completing a task, the faster they work towards reaching them. So when they are near to the reward, to the doing and the task finish, they go up faster, they do the tasks faster. That's very interesting, yes? Our minds, our brains is really, really interesting. So, some examples, progress bars, that's very good. Badges, profile completion, percentages. It can apply anywhere users are encouraged to complete the big tasks by achieving smaller objects. Then next law is Hick's law. Or it has another way. Hick-Hyman law is also another name for this law. Two people, William Edmund Hick and Ray Hyman, works on these things. What does it say? The time it takes to make a decision increases with the number and complexity of choices. So, one more time. The time it takes to make decision increases with the number and complexity of choices. So, the key of this law is that bring down the complexity and let the user do the task with less complexity and make the decisions faster and faster. So, minimize choices when response times are critical to decrease decision times. Break complex tasks into smaller steps in order to decrease cognitive load. That is very important, cognitive load. We will talk about that in other videos. I have a little bit talked about this. Avoid overwhelming users by highlighting recommended options. In some products, in some websites, when you go on that, you see that there are 10 products, 10 elements which are highlighted, and I really get confused. What does it add? What should I do with these things? Use progressive onboarding to minimize cognitive load for new users. So, for example, you can see that this remote control, it doesn't have too much buttons on that. That's very, very, very easily to work on that. Or Google is the best example for that. That is so simple. You can focus and you know what are you going to do, just searching. That is so simple. The next law is from this lovely person that's very important, was coined by Jakob Nelson. You know that every UX designers should know this great guy, yeah? Jakob Nelson. What does it say, Jacob's law? Users spend most of their time on the other sites. What does it mean? It means that users prefer your site to work the same way as all the other sites they already know. It is very important. Don't be too creative. For example, when you want to design something textful, users love to see the text field like the other text fields in the other websites. Do not terminate it. Do not make the new things. Respect to the user's mental model. For example, making the use of familiar patterns and conventions can effectively keep customers focused on the important stuff. For example, when users want to go to the shopping online website, users expect the following. Logo is placed on the left search bar and the middle, account login sites to the right, and shopping cart is on the right. Yeah, you'd love it. The next law is Miller's law. That is very important, guys. That is very interesting. That is very important. The average person can only keep 7 plus or minus 2 items in their working memory. For example, when you want to memorize something, 5 or 6 items is very good and stays in your mind. That is very important. Or maybe 6, yeah. Working with numbers, going to the websites you want to buy some things, they divide it into the chunks, yeah. Chunks is like the bucket. Pay attention that in this skin, like how somehow it's like buckets and you put them in chunks, yeah. Let's go to another slide. So organize content into smaller chunks to help users process, understand, and memorize easily. Remember that short-term memory capacity will vary per individual based on their prior knowledge and situational context. Yeah, for example, maybe my memory can memorize short-term memory 7 things, the other person 5 things. So per individual is different. For example, this website, yeah, chunking can organize content to help users process, understand, and memorize easily. If you see that in this website, you can see the chunks, yeah, each news has its chunks, has its buckets, has its own parts. Or, for example, this is a very, very interesting and important example. Here's a number, yeah. For example, can you memorize this number? Close your eyes. Can you remember that? When you do you have a struggle, try again with this format. When you change the format of that, put it in parentheses, have the hyphen, have the dash, you should find that is clustering or chunking really aids your brain's immediate recall. But what does this all mean for UX design? Yeah, so the left number 44086 is harder to remember, harder to memorize them, sure, long-term, especially for long-term memory. But the right one, you chunk them. One of them has a parenthesis, the left side is 3, the next one is 4 digits. For example, 867, 5309. Maybe you can divide it into 2, yeah? Or this website, if you see that, for example, it has a chunks, yeah? It has a products, they want to sell it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top, the HBO classics, HBO would categorize the websites, the films, the classics, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that is very useful. Try to use it in your websites. The next one is also, it's interesting. I really love also this law, Parkinson's law. This lovely person, Northcote Parkinson, C. Northcote. So what does it say? It's the old adage that works expands to fill the time to allotted for its completion. In other words, things become harder to complete when more time is given to complete it, as build up to the task becomes stressful and daunting. So, for example, let me explain it so easily. When you have a task, it needs only 1 or 2 hours. And in your mind, you say, okay, my deadline is 1 week. So you will do that in a 1 week. Do not do that. Do it in 1 hour. That's our mind. Yeah, that's here I've brought an example for the deadline to do a project, relieved knowing you have enough time. However, the distance deadlines causes it take longer than necessary to complete. In other words, the task expands to fill the time you are given. Yeah. So let's us talk about some solutions. Plan your time carefully. That is very important to plan it. Yeah. Do not push it off until later. You have 1 hour, so plan it in 1 hour. You have 1 week, plan it in 1 week. Write down your goals. Writing really helps in everything. Yeah, you can write the progress clearly, regularly, and checking them. How do you progress? Yeah, set a realistic deadlines. For example, when a job needs 1 week, so 1 week is enough. Do not say that I will do it in 2 days. And when it needs 2 days, say 2 days, not 1 week, yeah? Prioritize your tasks. Which one is more important? I should do it first, the other is next. Use a timer. When you know that you only have a certain amount of time to complete a task, you are less likely to expand the work to fill the time available. Break tasks down, yeah? Break tasks down means that divide the tasks into different parts, yeah, that is very important. For example, and give yourself self-imposed deadlines, yeah. Chunking is an effective solution that involves breaking up a larger project into smaller, more manageable steps. Take regular breaks. This will help you avoid burnout and keep your mind fresh. Just make sure that you don't use the break as an excuse to procrastinate. That's important. So, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your attention and time. I hope that it's very, very helpful and helps you, and maybe you learn something. I appreciate the opportunity to share this information with you. If it was helpful for you, please subscribe my channel, send it to your friends, and give us energy. Thank you very much. This is Demo.